I think for far too long, we've had this whole concept around performance in the workplace, and performance is everything, bottom line, profitability. All of those things, of course, are important for an organization to be successful and in some sense for it to be healthy and thrive. But at what cost, really? Because very often, or many organizations don't put at the center of their people strategy the concept of helping their people thrive, helping them flourish in the workplace. And there's lots of reasons why I believe it's important to do that. Is that, you know, just human beings will perform better if they are in a place where they feel not just comfortable, but they feel flourishing, that they feel that they are capitalizing on their potential, doing what they love to do in an environment where they want to work. And bottom line, the company will benefit from that. And on the counter side of that, when people aren't in that place, you know, what do you get? Well, at a worst case, you get significant burnout, health issues. Often that is also retention issues that creates, or difficulty kind of attracting high quality people to come and work for your organization. So there's lots of downsides of not doing it. So I truly believe that organizations and leaders in organizations have a responsibility to their people and helping them flourish and thrive. I think this happens from different pressures. So there's the whole investor stakeholder pressure, whether the company is owned, for example, by an investment house, or whether they have to perform to certain criteria on the stock market. So that's one piece. I think another piece is the what I would call the leadership legacy, which basically is the role modeling of leadership in the organization that, you know, starts at the top. So the CEO's agenda, or even the chairman stroke CEO agenda, down to the board agenda and the next level down. And particularly, often these people don't understand the kind of scrutiny they're under in what they do as opposed to what they say. You know, we've all heard that saying that, you know, what you do speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you say. And in my experience, there's some fabulous leadership role models, but for every good one, there's 2 or 3 bad ones. And so it's rarer good leadership, role modeling the right behaviors. And so, for example, there's no point telling your people, look, you've got to, let's put flexible working in, you've got to, you know, enlist on our health program. And then you see the board members working weekends and late into the night. You know, it's like they also have to role model what looking after themselves is like, so that they can demonstrate it. So that's another pressure, I would say. And then a final one for me is that you have to know what to do. On some level, you need to understand what are the strategies, the techniques, the methodologies that you can put in place to be able to look after yourself and or look after your team and your people. And there's a lack of education around that. So for me, those are the main kind of levers why it happens less than maybe it should. So I'd like to introduce you to the Wheel of Thrive, and this slide just demonstrates my Wheel of Thrive, actually. And what this is I've chosen the 8 things that, for me, contributes towards me being able to thrive, flourish in the workplace. So once you've kind of thought through what are the really important elements for you to thrive, to flourish, write them down as I have, and then score them. In the center of the diagram, you can see there is 0, and right at the extremity is 10. And just kind of give yourself a score for each of those different elements. And the question to ask, for example, is how much at present am I able to have a sense of achievement? Or how much at present do I have a sense of freedom and creativity? And just give yourself a score, because this is a snapshot in time. And if I did this in a week's time or a month's time, it could be very different. And then when I've got a score on each of those 8 dimensions, I can start to think, okay, whether I get somebody to help coach me through this or whether I coach myself, is like, okay, so if this is my current score, what do I need to move it up to nearer a 10? And what things are in my control or in my sphere of influence that can help? From an organizational point of view, if you'll have people that will want to be attracted to your organization, people who want to stay in your organization, people that are happy, again, creative, go the extra mile. And as I hear myself saying it, why wouldn't you want that? Start where you can start, and that's with yourself. You know, kind of all change starts there, doesn't it, really? So first of all, think about what you need to do, whether it's create that wheel of thrive for yourself or start exploring the stress curve, and put some easy things in place to create good habits around. And then once you've done that, kind of think, okay, if everybody in an organization impacts or influences others, you don't need to necessarily even be a manager or a leader, but to start to think about when you're interrelating with other people, what can you do in service of them to help them thrive? And that can be all kinds of interesting things. It might just be kind of, okay, what are you enjoying at the moment, or what's working for you, or what are you grateful for just now? You know, it can be asking little questions like that. Because when people start to feel gratitude and start to see things are better than they thought, again, those cortisol levels drop, less stress, you know, lots of positive benefits. You might even, because we're all different, is, you know, have a little bit of a plan for each of your people. You know, what are the buttons you can press that are going to help those individuals thrive more? And to have conversations around it. Have conversations around it and call out when people are doing the things that are counterproductive for a thriving environment. So if somebody says, "Oh, I've worked overnight, you know, a big proposal, I worked overnight, you know, I do well." It's like, well, please, John, I'd rather you let us know before and not have you work overnight. I don't think that's healthy for you. It's not healthy for the company, and it's not. Instead of going, "Wow, that's great, thank you," to reinforce them doing it again, call out the bad behavior.